Hey y'all, I'm Ali. Welcome to Little Hill Homestead. This is Thanksgiving week for us. We're actually doing this early so that we could show you guys some of our favorite Thanksgiving recipes and hopefully you guys make some of them or enjoy some of them. So somebody asked me not that long ago, can you cook a pumpkin pie from a real pumpkin? So many of us are just used to running to the grocery store and buying a can of pumpkin, either pre-made, ready to just dump into your pie shell, or pureed canned pumpkin that a lot of people don't know you can make it from a pumpkin. So usually I suggest using these. They're called, I believe sugar pie pumpkin is what they're called, but they're basically like a pie pumpkin. They're small and I've already baked them. I'm going to insert a clip showing you guys how I do that somewhere in here. Step one, it is early in the morning. We're getting going. So I have two pumpkins. These are just pie pumpkins. I think they're called sugar pies. I took a knife and I don't know if you can see it. I pierced, no, you can't see it on camera. I stuck a knife 2 times in the top of this. I'm taking these and putting them on a baking sheet. Voila, that's done. I'm also throwing 3 sweet potatoes on here. That's gonna be our sweet potato souffle that we're gonna be making. So that will be pumpkin pie, sweet potato souffle. This is gonna go into your oven at 350 degrees for about 90 minutes. And I'm gonna go drink coffee while it's doing that. Shawn's cooking us breakfast. And then I'm gonna come up with our plan for the day because if I write it all out, I'm more prone to stay on task because I was supposed to do this yesterday. So there's
that. my plan for the day is to watch college football. I'm gonna watch college football all day.
That's fine. No, that's not true. Shawn is smoking a turkey. I was gonna roast the turkey, but we decided we really wanna try smoked turkey. We are not gonna show you the whole process for that because we haven't done it before, but it's currently in the refrigerator brining. We use a brine from Ree Drummond or Pioneer Woman with some apple juice and rosemary, and Shawn's gonna smoke it with some peach chips and apple chips, I think is what we decided.
Yep.
Some sweeter stuff. So he's in charge of that. We'll show you what it finished, what it's like, but we've never done a smoked turkey. So anyways, pie and potato souffle is going. All right, our pumpkins, we did them whole. They're beautiful and nice and brown. I'm gonna let them cool, and then I just scoop out the guts and the stuff in the inside. I'll show you that. My sweet potatoes are nice and soft to make our sweet potato souffle. So my pumpkins I let cool so that they are cool and I can handle them without burning my hands at this point. These have the seeds and everything in them, but doing it this way, they're very easy to clean. So if you don't want to do a full pumpkin and go this route, these were 99 cents each or 79 cents each. Canned pumpkin is a little bit more expensive, but it's easier. So you guys give yourself grace in whatever way you want. Today I'm giving myself grace by using a pre-made pie crust. Not my favorite, but I had some in the freezer I need to get used up. If you guys have seen, we did pie a long time ago. I'm terrible at making pie crust. It's just a whole disaster. So I didn't want to do that today. What I really wanted to do was do a Biscoff cookie version or like a gingerbread crust or something interesting, but I didn't. I just stuck with traditional. Anyways, that is to the side, and it's time to scoop and do the pumpkins. So the pumpkins literally will just start falling apart. I'm going to move my sweet potatoes just to the side, just so they're out of the way. Pops right off. So these, literally, you can sit here and peel it, and you have what looks like an orange, but it's a pumpkin. So for these, you want pumpkin puree, but the seeds are in here. So I'm going to show you guys. Hopefully you can see me decently well. I just peel these. Like I baked these a couple hours ago, and then I just let them fully cool. They're slightly warm, but not really. So you get all your peels right off. And it really does look like a tangerine or something now. At this point, all I do is break it in half to expose the seeds. It kind of falls apart, but you can see my seeds are now exposed. I just take this spoon, scoop out the seeds, and all you're left with is your pumpkin. Pop it in there. This is really, really easy. And you can do like Halloween pumpkins. I don't always suggest that because sometimes they put wax on them or spray them with something. So I suggest buying a pie one. But if you go to like a local pumpkin patch where you picked your own pumpkins, totally use them, you guys. Same amount of time, even if they're big, because it's like all one giant piece. So even big ones, you still do 90 minutes. Get all your seeds off. And we are hoping to get 2 cups of pumpkin puree or 1 can, which is, I think, 15 or 16 ounces. I think it's hold on, I wrote it down, 15 ounces for you guys. But this is going to be pureed pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, which, like if you buy the canned stuff. All right. I'm telling you guys, this is so easy and really inexpensive. But did you know a lot of times that when you buy canned pumpkin, you're actually buying either butternut squash or sweet potatoes? I believe it's butternut squash. So pumpkins have a little bit of a different flavor in them. But I'm not saying that you always buy them and it's not pumpkin, but oftentimes people sneak things in that are pumpkin flavored and you don't even know it. So, all right, scooping that out, you guys. The guys are watching football today, just like they would on a normal Thanksgiving day. And that's fine with me because I get reign of my kitchen. All right, we're almost there, you guys. I am going to save all this inside pumpkin and feed it to my chickens. If you have chickens, it's a great, I believe it's a dewormer. Either way, they think it's delicious and they eat all of it. So why not give them all the goodies? Also dogs, they love it in our homemade dog food. I'm going to end up with more pumpkin than I need, so I'm not going to pop this in there. But I am going to use my spoon to push it down, make sure there's no air pockets because I did put it in there big, weird chunks. Just to make sure I'm at my 2 cups, and I am. So I will save this probably and either throw it into like a bread or something like that, or just give it to the chickens. I'm gonna set this to the side, regroup, and show you guys how we make the pumpkin pie filling. Okay guys, it's time to build the inside of our pumpkin pie, or the pumpkin part of your pumpkin pie. I like to add my 2 cups of pumpkin first so that I can make sure it's broken down nicely. You think that I use one of the spatulas you guys have sent me? Let me get that. People send me spatulas all the time, and I have a bunch of them, and then I still don't grab them. I like to put this in first, just so I can make sure that I have broken it down really nicely. So I use the back of my spatula just to make sure my pumpkin's all mushed. You don't want a giant chunk of pumpkin. You really want it to be like a puree. It also gives you a chance to look for any seeds that you may have missed on the first part. Obviously, you don't have to do this if you buy the canned. Okay, I think I'm good to go. The first thing you're going to need, in addition to your pumpkins, are 3 eggs. We have chickens. Love it because it makes my life easy. Get those crack-a-lacking. Somebody asked me, how do you know if it's double yolker? And that was like a month ago, and we haven't gotten a double yolker since. I jinxed myself. So I said that as soon as I knew, I would show you guys. I'm confident cracking them directly in here. If you're not, and you're worried about shells, crack them into a bowl and put them in here. I've cracked enough eggs. I don't overly worry about it, but all right, that's in. The next thing we need, I'm looking at my recipe as I go, just because I don't make this all that often, and like once a year. So I've got it written down. 1 1/4 cups of sugar. And I'm adding molasses to it to make our own brown sugar, essentially. I'm adding a tablespoon, just over a tablespoon of molasses. If you do not want to do this way, just add brown sugar. We like, I think I told you guys yesterday, we like the old-fashioned molasses from Azure Standard. I buy it by the jar, and we love it. The next thing you need, let me give this just a little bit of a mix to kind of get it going so you don't have like all your ingredients. Like, you know, it gets harder and harder because I always pick too small of a bowl. Let's be real. All right, I'm going to start breaking this down. Funny enough, I grabbed a whisk and then I ended up using the spatula. I'm just a use whatever you got kind of person. The next thing I'm going to add, and this is because I don't use evaporated milk. I use heavy cream. And it can tend to, let me add it, 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream. It can tend to be thinner. So I do add 1 tablespoon of arrowroot powder to it to compensate for it not being condensed, essentially. All right. Oh, by the way, I have my pie crust, my store-bought one. Yeah, I know. In the oven. I like to give it like 7 minutes of bake time so that this can go into it really easily and be lovely, but I don't like to do it raw. I like to just give it a couple minutes to toast up a little bit. Not anything crazy. It's common to pre-bake your crust just a little bit. So this one is definitely not as orange as you are used to. It definitely goes more like a squashy yellow, but pumpkin and squash. The next thing we need are our spices. The first one we're going to use is good old cinnamon. You need cinnamon, y'all. I'm just saying, you need it. This is a half of a teaspoon of cinnamon going in. If you want to use pumpkin pie spice, go for it. I don't usually buy pre-made spices. I like to kind of use our own, but you do you. If you're going to do that, I would do like probably a teaspoon and a half of pumpkin pie spice. I'm going to use some nutmeg. We use whole nutmeg berries, and I grate them on this vintage grater that was my mom's that I've had forever. I have another version that's not as old, but I always resort back to this one. So it's a 1/4 teaspoon. When you do wheat berries, there's no wheat berries in this. When you do nutmeg berries like this, I use a little bit less because they are a little more potent because they're a whole versus something that was grated a while ago and stored. So nutmeg in. The next thing we need, cloves. This is optional, you guys. Some people don't like cloves because they can make your mouth numb. I know that's weird. I just do a small sprinkle, about 1/8 of a teaspoon, just a little bit, you guys, not much at all. Then we've got some ginger. I do a 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger. Have you seen our videos where we made our own spices? We dehydrate ginger and then we grind it up. Much cheaper and very easy. Plus, it's really good. I like to do a pinch of pepper in this. I think that it adds like a nice, like savory, sweet thing going on. I mean, savory with what we've already going on that is sweet. I really only do a pinch of that. I think that's everything, you guys. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to mix my spices in and get it all lovely and mixed. All right, you guys, that is it. So like I said, the color is definitely a little bit different because we're using a whole pumpkin. I don't know if they add something to their pumpkins or if they use a different kind of pumpkin. I'm not really sure, but when you do a homemade pumpkin, it's definitely a little bit lighter. All right, I'm going to pop my pie crust out of the oven that's just very lightly cooked and then just pour this in it, you guys. Let me grab it. And I know my husband makes all these hot pads for me. We sell all these hot pads in the shop. Mine got really dirty and I was embarrassed. But then I feel terrible using not our hot pads. So does that make any sense? I don't know, you guys. I also got these at Costco and I don't like them. They're very hard to grip. Life is hard. Uh-oh, part of my pie crust fell. Let's see if we can fix that up. Part of my pie crust done fell in. I'm just going to push it up with my spoon here. I had an air pocket, that's why. Well, that's a sad little moment there. This came as a 2-pack, so let me grab it. It comes as 2, and I'm going to use this one, so I'm going to do a patch job really quick. We always say we're keeping it real. You guys, this will be under the edge. Nobody will know. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're just going to take a little piece of this. And we'll just patch it. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's like nothing ever happened. I'm going to use my spoon because it is slightly hot to push those together so that it creates like a seam. All right. Nobody will ever know. So while I'm doing this, Shawn and I used to host both of our families and extra people, and we'd cook 6 turkeys and feed about 45 people. And Shawn liked to use real silverware and plates. And so we did that, but he did all the dishes, so I was fine with it. But we hosted everybody, and we did that for years while we were in California. I think we would fry turkeys, and we did 6 turkeys usually and a ham, and everybody pitched in and brought different sides. Well, then when we moved to Georgia, our kids didn't want to do Thanksgiving pretty much ever again, so we didn't for years. So it's fun to be able to do Thanksgiving for you guys because we don't traditionally do it. We let our kids, I'll tell you that story. Pour this in here. We let our kids pick what they want for Thanksgiving, and they can have anything. So when they were little, this is going to make 2. And now you know what? We're going to use this in something else. I'll make some little pumpkin pies with what I've got left. I'll use cookie cutters and then make mini ones. But we let our kids pick whatever they wanted. So we've done the first year, our youngest picked gummy worm pizza. And I know I've told you guys this before. We made pizza from scratch. with red sauce, and then he put gummy worms all over it, and they basically melted into a giant puddle. It was the grossest thing. He thought it was fantastic. Probably his favorite Thanksgiving ever. We've done ramen. We've done pizzas. We've done tamales. Like, we just let them pick. But it's fun to be able to do Thanksgiving. But we did weird traditions. We moved away from all our family, and so we kind of started something new, and that was what they chose to do. So I was fine with it. Anyways, you fill this about 3/4 of the way full. You don't want to fill it all the way to the top because it is going to puff. You're going to put it back in the oven. Oh, I almost forgot. We're going to wrap the edge of this with just a little roll of foil so it doesn't overly brown. So I just take a piece of foil and I rip it in half. I know they sell like fancy things to be able to do this. I just roll it and then I just tuck it around the edge. This just prevents the edge from really browning up too much while it's cooking. Nobody wants a burned edge on their pie. Ugh. All right. There we go. Now this is going to go back into the oven for about 50 minutes to an hour. It'll still be slightly jiggly in the middle. That's just what happens. And then it will set as it cools. But I usually do these the day before, and then I'll pop them in the refrigerator and serve them when we need them. But I will bring you back to show you the finished pie in a little bit, as well as show you how to make your own whipped cream to put on top of it instead of buying that aerated can stuff. Yeah, we'll show you that in just a second. Okay, you guys, I want to show you how easy it is to make your own whipped cream like you would buy from the can, but not in the can. I should look at the ingredients on that because I honestly don't even know what's in it. You need some heavy cream and some sugar. If you want to add vanilla, you can. That's optional. I don't, but I know a lot of people do. I'm using a Magic Bullet blender or a Ninja blender or a full-size blender. You do whatever you want, but you need something high-powered that's going to spin it. You can do it in your KitchenAid mixer with the whisk attachment as well. This just works really fast. So I'm going to put however much you kind of feel like you need for your pumpkin pie. I'm going to do about a cup. And then to that, I kind of add, I don't know, a couple teaspoons of sugar. I'm just reaching when my hands are clean and throwing a couple little teaspoons in there. If you like it sweeter, do a little more. Like I said, if you want to add vanilla, add some vanilla. But this is how easy it is, you guys. That canned stuff too is like $6 now. This is not. And then you just whip it up. That's it. It only takes a couple minutes, seconds, and you'll hear it suddenly change tempo to know that it's whipping. I put a lot in here. If you do a little bit, it literally takes seconds. But that's it, you guys. Okay, I'm going to bring you back. I'll keep you here, but I'll bring you back and show you once it changes sound so you can see it. Did you hear it? It's already done. That's it, you guys. It's already done. Let me get a spoon so I can show you guys. Okay. Like I said, it literally takes seconds to do it, and you have whipped cream. If you want to get fancy and pipe it onto whatever it is you're doing, but you can. But otherwise, we just do a dollop of this on it, and it's so good. It's super creamy. You know exactly what's in it, and yeah, I mean, come on. You have to taste test it. You gotta make sure it tastes good. Got enough sugar? We're good. All right, whipped cream for our pie. It's done. All right, you guys. It took 50 minutes for my pie to complete. You can see where the foil wasn't covering it, but yeah, it's tender, but like not jiggly. There you guys go. I did make 4 mini ones that we'll probably eat for breakfast, to be honest. So there's our pie. I will show you the final cut with our whipped cream when we serve it in our final Thanksgiving video. Next, I'm moving to, I don't know what I'm moving to next, but there you guys go, pumpkin pie. It's not glamorous, it's not beautiful, but it's homemade.